Alright everybody, welcome back to another Xvault gaming video. Xvault here, and today I do have a brand new SSD that we're going to be putting into the wife's PS5. If you recall, I did put in a Sabrent version of the SSD in my own PlayStation 5 as well as my son's PlayStation 5. So this other one, being a different brand and all that good stuff, we're going to see how this one works, if it's any different and all that stuff, but we'll do a quick follow along and how to install guide and go from there. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. All right, so like I was saying, a couple things that we're just going to need to totally, quote, disassemble the PlayStation 5 is you're going to need any sort of a flathead screwdriver, okay? So you'll have that. I recommend a smaller one rather than one this size. You don't need one that size. This is just going to be used to take off the base of the PlayStation 5. And then this here is going to be a screwdriver, a mini one, kind of like a technical one. It's an M.2.2 screwdriver. So if you're looking for this, you can find this on Amazon. You can find it in Staples, Office Max, stuff like that. But this is the one you're going to need to utilize for the PlayStation 5 inside of itself to remove the plate cover, which we'll get to, okay? And then again, we do have the SSD that you're going to need as well. So we'll go ahead and break this down, open this up. But first of all, let's go ahead and take off the quick base of the PlayStation 5 here. And the base is going to look like that. It's going to have the flathead screw. So we'll just go ahead and simply remove it. And you can just lay it on its side, not going to hurt it whatsoever. And just remember, if anybody's new to this stuff, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, right? So once you have that off, it just simply removes because it just has these two little grips that go on the side of it there. So real simple. Just make sure you keep all this together out of the way on the side somewhere, and you're going to be just fine. So what the other portion of this is you're going to want to remember to do is make sure that you have the side up if you have, opposite of the PlayStation symbol. That's the part you want to not take off. You can take it off, but that's the other side for other cleaning purposes and all that as well. So do the side that does not have the PlayStation label. And then, all right, so what you want to do easily is, again, with the opposite side, you just barely lift. Here it takes a little bit of force, and then you're going to kind of slide it off. Like so. When I say a little bit of force, I mean a little bit of force, so don't feel bad about moving this pretty hard. So just like that, and I always like to kind of see how dusty and dirty it is from the last time that, you've opened this up. So it does have a dust trap, like I'd mentioned in the past videos as well. But always good to go in here and just kind of wipe it down or use your can of air and just kind of lightly get everything out of there, because how often do we honestly pull our systems apart and get these things installed? So real quick, before we go any further on this though, let's go ahead and open up the package for this here. Again, this is an XPG S70 blade. This is a 1 terabyte SSD that we're going to be installing here today. So what I'll do, since we don't need to save the package, because I'm not going to be super gentle on this as far as opening. So again, this one does come with the SSD itself as well as the heatsink. So it's recommended to have a heatsink if you are new to PC gaming or SSDs in general. It's always good to have that heatsink. Why? Well, because it does pull away the heat. These things run at exceptionally fast speeds and they do get pretty hot. So in order for it to not get too hot and maybe corrupt itself or worse, hurt your system, it's always good to have the heat sink. So I wouldn't recommend playing with fire, but definitely do that. So this is my first time experiencing this SSD though, myself. The Sabrent that I have in the previous videos, definitely check it out. I think those are packaged phenomenally. It comes with so much, and just really just a fantastic heatsink cover that it comes with as well. And then, like I said, it comes with the screwdriver yourself. So if you, obviously a lot of folks probably don't have one of these if you're not in the PC gaming or building anything or tearing anything apart. it just kind of comes with it all. So what we'll do, this is the screw here that we're going to remove on the shell for the SSD compartment. It has the triangle, square, circle, and cross icons on there, so easily identifiable. Obviously a black screw there. And then as simple as that, if this is your first time ever having to remove this lid, it's going to be tight for the first time a little bit because it's your first time doing it. And then here we go. We have the inside of the system itself for the SSD. Now what you want to do also is remove the secondary black screw they have in a place marker for 110. This is going to help secure. You have a screw right here, and then you're going to have a little bolt, right? Kind of like a hexagonal bolt. And that's going to help secure the SSD in place. Now, what we want to do is slide this guy into a little flat compartment here and see what we get from that. Yeah, the computing chip. Again, my first time putting this guy together in there. But you're going to know it's always going to have a little push-up part. Again, this is what the screw and nut is going to go into. So it measures out to be out the 80. Usually most of these should be. That should be the standard. Make sure that goes in there snugly. And just don't forget to put that bolt in there and get this other screw on top of that. That way it securely fastens it like so. We're just going to simply tighten that guy in there. Make it real simple. Just real simple. So that's what you do if you did not have anything else on there. But what we're going to do, we're going to peel this portion back. Now this is the heatsink part. You're going to peel that adhesive back. You're going to tell which side goes to what because you're going to have that little divot inside of here. And that's where you're going to have that. So you're just going to kind of place that at the very end of this. Make sure you put it real flat on there. Best you can. It's just basically going to take all that heat off of there the best it can. So covers that CPU and stuff on the SSD itself. So this is always going to be on there. You could put this on there before, but I like to put these things on there after I insert. It makes it a lot easier, especially for this brand, I think, as well as the Sabrent before. You want to put that. It encompasses the shell. Again, you can check that out. But real simple. But this is, again, gonna pull that heat away from that SSD. So real simple here. And just like that, folks, we're pretty much done. We just got to reassemble it. Get this shell back on here. Get the screw there. Tighten it back on like so. Voila. This is in there. Super, super simple. So now we're going to go ahead and get this shell back on. Again, this is the disc version, but real similar to the digital version of the PS5 model. So the only difference is it just doesn't have the disc, right? But like so, you just can put on there and snap like so. Real simple to put on. Again, don't feel bad about putting force on. These plates are made to do this, right? So also they have different colored plates out there. If you do something crazy and break it, crack it, whatever, then you're good to go. And of course, you will, again, put your stand back on and everything like that. So we'll do that off camera. But what we're going to do next, I'm going to shift over, get this set up. We'll take a quick look at what the screen looks like, recognizing the SSD and solidifying that you do have it installed correctly. Again, it should be in there. As long as everything's snug and tight, we should be good. So we'll see you in just a second. All right, so like we are showing here, what it pops up is to use your M.2 SSD, you need to format it. So when you format your M.2 SSD, all data on it will be deleted. Of course, this is totally fine because there's nothing on the SSD itself. So what we're going to do is simply go over to format M.2 SSD. This will take just a few moments, as you can see. And in no time at all, there we go. Shows you your read speed at 6056 megabits per second. Pretty cool. Now it just says your M.SSD has been formatted. To change where your games are installed, you will go to Settings, Storage, and Installation Location. Let's go take a look at that right now. So here we just go over to storage. Real simple. This is where you're going to see it. And you're going to see your M.2 SSD storage. So you can always reformat it or whatever the case is. Now, installation location, this is where you're going to change it. PS5 games and apps, console storage. But what we want to do is start moving it to the M.2 SSD storage, right? Let's take advantage of that. PS4 as well. Any of those PS4 games will work on your PS5, of course, at this point in time. I'm sure most of you know that, but let's switch these both to the new SSD. And then anything that does fill up the SSD will immediately default to the console storage if this ever does get full. So just keep that in mind. It's not like you're done, and it will give you notifications and so on. So real simple. We've installed it. We see it up and running. Everything works great. I think this is real easy, simple installation as well. Another great SSD. We'll come back. If I have any flaws or issues with it in the future, I'll let you know, much like the Sabrent. The Sabrent was flawless, loved it. I don't expect any less from this one, so thanks. All right, so that's how you install that particular SSD into the PlayStation 5 system. Hopefully you found this helpful. Hopefully this sets some nerves at ease and stuff like that before you go ahead and purchase one. Again, either the Sabrent or this XPG SSD version of the model is also fine. I think they all work great. Haven't had nothing but great reviews. I haven't had any SSDs that have been all that bad, to be honest with you, in regards to reviews and research that I've gone across. So as always, I appreciate you sticking around for the entirety of the video. If you did find that helpful, definitely leave a like. Go ahead and comment if you wouldn't mind. And of course, if it wouldn't be too much, definitely consider subscribing to help out a small content creator like myself. We are growing. We are at 359 subscribers at this time of recording. The next goal that I would like to meet is 500. So if you did enjoy that, like I said, every support, every little bit that you can do, sharing, all that stuff helps me out so much, and it's very much appreciated. So thanks again. We'll let you have the rest of your day back, and we'll see you all next time on the next Xvault gaming video. So until then, take care.